And just like every Sunday evening, we are back again, ladies, gentlemen, people that watch the show. It's another episode of Who's Fighting, episode 76. LT, my brother.
You. What
How
up?
you been, man?
Great, man. It's great, man. I just loving life right now. A lot of free time. A lot of rest and relaxation. Yeah, can't complain.
Salute, salute, salute.
How are you? How's Strap doing?
Strap is doing okay, actually. Sundays are like some of my favorite. It's actually one of my favorite days of the week, man. It's a time where I get to reflect on what to do throughout the next week. It's also a time I get to sit down and go through some of my notes for the show and try to like remember what happened that Saturday night leading up to the show. So it's one of those busy but relaxing days for me, at least. And I'm, just ready to go start the week, and also ready to record at night for this show.
Very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Sure.
It's the best of times and the worst of times, but we're gonna focus on the good right now because
Right.
Michigan basketball is looking like the Michigan Monstars right about
Mhm.
now. They can't seem to win a game by less than 20 points, it looks like. So I knew they would be good, but I didn't know they would be this good.
That's good.
It's a pleasant surprise.
When was the last time Michigan was good at basketball like this? I mean, back in 2010, they had a team or 11.
Well, we've had a run. We've had a run under Beeline, and we made a national championship game under Juwan Howard. But this team is an embarrassment of riches, and I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to be watching more games, more regular season games than usual.
Oh yeah, if they could do half what the Fab Five did in the regular season, that would be fire. I mean, but those were all freshmen, that came in and changed up the whole landscape of college basketball. But yeah, I wouldn't want to pivot to the obvious, the Michigan football, but it is what it is. It's a dark, dark time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, all those affected by that, hopefully everything straightens out. And he had to be a person from the hometown too, kind of. Or Derby, Kansas, as most people from Wichita may say.
Right, down the street, right?
Down the street. But moving on into boxing, for some weird reason, LT, there were so many fights this weekend. Not premier fights, but just fights in different places of the world. From Abu Dhabi to the fights happening in the zone. I think they were here in America. There were a couple of fights here in the US and some fights overseas. And there were some pro box fights too. So like it was a lot to watch if you are a boxing fan. And for the UFC, of course, there was the ever-going series of Fight Night Saturday that happened this weekend. But let's start with Abu Dhabi. No, sorry. Let me pull that back. That's not Abu Dhabi. UAE, Dubai. This was a heavyweight clash for the WBA championship or world championship. This is the regular belt, that is. And we have Murat Gustav versus Kabrut Polev. First of all, leading up to this, I can't believe Gustav moved up to heavyweight. He's a cruiserweight. And I was wondering how that would look like aesthetic-wise, because if you know who Polev is a big brute. He's legendary. He's okay. People hit me with that word legendary that I throw out. He is a fighter that has been around for a long time. He's been one of the guys in the mixes for the championship too, becoming a gatekeeper. I think the last time I'd seen him fight, he got knocked out by Dylan White. Yeah. But Pulev is a big guy. And when I saw these two guys standing up, going at it, I'm like, this size difference does not make sense, because you could see who the heavyweight is, and you can see a clear cruiserweight in a heavyweight fight. But to my surprise, round 6 hits, and dare I say, people are like saying probably knockout of the year contender.
Yeah.
I shared it in the chat. I was like, "Did you see that?" I didn't even see it come. I just saw Timber, and I don't know if he split his lip from that knockout. He looked pretty bad. Looked pretty bad. Pulev got knocked out.
These are pleasant surprises, right? Pleasant surprises. Like you said, guy coming up in weight, don't really know what to expect, and wow, wow. I think that's the best way to characterize that one.
Yeah, it was one of those things that like you see and you realize it's never really because. But Pulev, let's be honest, he's a 42-year-old. Yes, he may be going through the glass jaw era where he's just being knocked out quite a couple of times, so he's just susceptible to being knocked out. But a smaller fighter doing that to you shows you that the skill is really the sweet science, and that's why some of these cruiserweights. So we talk about Jai, going up to the heavyweight, and really that may be a lot dangerous for a lot of those guys because this is an athletic guy going up to the heavyweights with the power of a heavyweight. Same thing goes for Gustav. Same thing goes for, I don't know why it didn't translate for Lawrence Okoli, because Lawrence Okoli looks like a flat-footed brute now, but he was athletic and he was skillful at cruiserweight, but he put on all that weight to 260. He just doesn't look right on him, but what do I know? I just want to share this first of all before even going into that breakdown, but let's go and look at that knockout real quick. And right here, you just see Gustav's team just surrounding him. But look at the size difference. Oh, wait. He's in another dimension. Even the people out there, I know Pulev is Hungarian, if I'm right, and then Gustav is Russian. But the people out there even can't believe it.
And this was one of those. So I'm getting refreshed now because at the early stages of the fight, he was able to keep the distance, right, in the early rounds and early stages. And it was really once Gassiev was able to get inside of that, he was able to get to work and get busy and chop down Pulev.
Yeah. And just like that, Murat won. It goes to tell you that, yes, we love our heavyweights, but like when I was a kid, they always told me, man, the cruiserweights eventually become heavyweights. Cruiserweights eventually go up. They're tired of cutting. They most likely, all cruiserweights, walk around like heavyweights. And if you already have that power at 200, I'm sure it translates at, past that, so I don't know. What do I know? But I always was told when I was a kid, cruiserweights eventually become heavyweights.
It's that
the money's at. In the cruiserweight, there's no money. I don't see money in the cruiserweight.
Yes, it's unfortunate, right? Like that's a very athletic for their size, but like you said, they're all coming up now. So
they're all coming up, and in all fairness, what I may be saying is like outdated, aged out, because when I was a kid, heavyweight was the poppingest division. It was the division where the big money fights happened. It was not the Floyd Mayweather generation where he was the guy getting all the money. The heavyweights back then were eating good, and even the middleweights were eating good too. But it was mainly heavyweights, middleweights, welterweights maybe, but just in that range. And am I forgetting another weight division that was popping back in the 90s?
Man, it's just really the star power,
Star power.
Whose star power carries throughout the weight classes.
Right. In the UK was more advanced than what I was watching, because they talked about the Corner Ben's father, Nigel Benn, being a superstar. These guys are fighting at 160 something, or I can't remember, 140. I can't remember what weight they were fighting at, but that's very progressive, because I remember as a kid, the Sweet Pea, the Pernell Whitaker was not making as much money as the that's why Roy Jones went up to heavyweight. The Lennox Lewis, these guys were shutting down Las Vegas, as foreign people from Canada or whatever. And I remember, the first time a big headline fight from another division was when I was a kid was could have been. I think it was Executioner versus Golden Boy. That was a big one. Like it just was everywhere, and like even I was in Africa, and I was like, oh shit, like this. We're moving away from the quintessential Tysons and Holyfields of this world, Rahmans and all these guys who are like, squeezing everything of popularity in the sport back then. But heavyweight was the sport back then, and now you're seeing, like they said, the cruiserweights eventually become heavyweights because of the money. People, we've seen that with Tony coming from the super lower divisions going up to the heavyweight where the money's at. And again, the skills pay the bills, so that always translates good. Moving on to Saturday, I believe this was a Friday or Saturday morning when the Pulev Gustav fight happened. But moving on to Saturday fight, and this is the headliner. We have Diego Pacheco versus Kevin Lele Sadjo. Let me tell you, I didn't know who Sadjo was. I didn't know who Lele Sadjo was. But I tell you, I watched that fight, and now, hey, forgive me for not knowing. Forgive me for not knowing your level of game. But you did put up a good fight. I don't think a unanimous decision best represents the whole fight. Because if you read it off the scoring, you think Pacheco had a walk in the park, but nah. Pacheco was just very good, and I'll pass it to you, LT. To my observation, Pacheco was good in the beginning and the end. The middle, I'll give that to Sadjo.
Yeah, man. First off, Sadjo, Cameroonian brother by way of France. Built an undefeated record and a huge knockout ratio in France, and so there was some question marks as to what kind of opponent this was. Was it inflated? But I think he showed himself worthy. This is one of those ones where, in defeat, he probably won because now you're being exposed to a wider audience and in a broader fan base, and so now we can appreciate you. And I would definitely like to see Sadjo on more undercards. He's a 168 guy, so maybe we can see some of these 160s who want to come up. Maybe they have to go through a Sadjo. But this is interesting. Diego Pacheco, watching this, one thing we had to mention is this is his first fight outside of Jose Benavidez Sr. being his trainer, his main trainer. I've seen a lot of commentary on this, a lot of thoughts, and from Diego's side, he said that he's a big enough star where he needs his own team, and so his lead trainer was a former assistant in his camp. Now, with all that said, it wasn't as impressive a performance as people would have liked to see, and I'm starting to draw a comparison here. Who he reminds me of, at least his fighting style, right? He's this towering, imposing figure who likes to fight on the inside. Who else does that sound like, Strap?
The Towering Inferno.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this, and I'm like, the clear and concise strategy would be to work from the outside, but you just have this affinity of mixing it up.
Yeah.
And making it harder than it needs to be. So I would like to see that matchup at some point in time, okay? Because we got these two tall guys. Obviously Pacheco's already at 68. Fedora's way down at 54.
Way down, yeah.
But he has the frame. It seems like he has the frame for this to be a possibility at some point in the future. So let's timestamp this. It's 2025, December 14th. Maybe we'll see it in 3 or 4 years from now.
3 or 4 years. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, he does like to mix it up inside, which, I mean, your style is your style, but that lets him, both of them, both the Towering Inferno and Pacheco, Fedora is what I'm talking about. They both get touched too much because of that style. I mean, and I know it's a very counter-punching style. Like, if we go back to that same style, it kind of brought life back to Sadjo in the 8th round, because you shouldn't, if you're taller than the way he was towering Sadjo, you should never let that man find you with, like that type of hook because it looked like a reckless hook. You could have kept him at range. Now it was a left. It was a left. I don't know if it was. It was not even a check. It was one of those just swing, whang. Caught him really quick, put him down, came up, knocked down. But if you're that tall, those sneaking shots, you should control them with range, is what I think.
And even in fairness, he probably thought he was out of range in that moment.
Yeah, true. It's just that the way Sadjo was on the front foot, because his front foot, step by step, creeping up and then wham. So if you've seen somebody on the front foot, you should be backing or twisting and getting out of that angle. Get out of that angle. I know you may think you're out of range, which is very tricky. Some people are just good at that, at being elusive, thinking that, oh, you think I'm not in range, but I've been creeping on you. I've been just inching on you without you knowing that. And then here comes the punch that you never see. And those are the punches that actually knock you out, because the ones that you see are the ones that you're ready for and the ones that you ready to counter with. He caught him way off guard. It was so blindsided. That left hook came out of nowhere and it sat him down for a knockdown. Like you said, I believe in the talent of Pacheco. I believe he's going to be one of those talents who's going to be around for a long time. But again, he's also going to be one of those talents to make other people's career, because Pacheco is one of those he's young. He's one of those prodigy type of fighters that has always been talked about how good they are from young. So these guys who come out of nowhere, you said he's from Sanchez from Cameroon, from the way of France, they're going to make names on type of fighters like this, like the Ryan Garcias. Like if they have that on their catalog, I knocked him down and I gave him a hard, middle rounds. Like I gave him a hard 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then he finished off good. Yeah, Sadjo, welcome. You have a new career here off the back of Pacheco.
Yes.
And that performance.
Listen, I would like to see Sadjo against the likes of the Macumbis, of the Berlangas, right? I would love to see Sadjo up against that type of competition. And
S3?
let's see.
Can we throw Sam Arnold in there? Or is he still young? And
that is the type of opponent, a man who fought a man. Right. Very, very possible. Very probable.
There you go. But yeah, salute to Diego Pacheco. I didn't know he's not being coached by Benavidez Senior. So I thought Jose was still his coach, but yeah, Benavidez Senior is coaching animals over there.
Yeah,
and I say that to say even Jose Benavidez Jr. was a talented young fighter. It's just unfortunate what happened to his career. But moving on to possible opponents for Diego Pacheco.
So in the immediate aftermath, this is the one that came, and I'm a little surprised by this, but it does make sense.
Yeah. Now
it's very realistic. Like for both of them, this is a realistic step up fight. With eliminator implications possibly. So
I can see that. I can see that happening. My question here would be, who is Pacheco's management team? And what does he fight? Because I know he fought under the zone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think he's with Hearn. I think he's with Hearn here.
Okay. I'm assuming Shiraz is with Riyadh Season or Ring. I don't know what that conglomerate is called.
Right.
and Turkey have a good relationship. It won't be one of those hard fights to make.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just worried if he's a top ranking guy, or that's the one that becomes.
I don't think so anymore.
So,
well, like I said, we just seen 2 top ranked guys on the PBC card last week. So
fair. Yeah. But yeah, salute to Diego Pacheco for that win. Hamza Shiraz, great. Both of them is towering too. I heard Shiraz is also like about 6'3".
Exactly.
Towering dude. So that would be
one of those. Here's the thing with Shiraz too. Like there's whoever they want to roadmap Shiraz's career, there is enough money to make it happen.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There's enough money there. Moving over, we're going to be skipping from Pro Box to back to the zone, but this was a Pro Box fight. We have Gabriel Flores Jr. versus Joe Cordina, and this is a lightweight bout happening on Pro Box. Gabriel Flores Jr. defeated Cordina by unanimous decision with scores 117, 110, 115, 112, and 114, 113 to win by unanimous decision over a former champion or former world champion, that is, in Cordina. Did you catch this? I didn't watch this. I didn't watch this Pro Box. I didn't catch any of the Pro Box fights.
Not this time.
Then swiftly moving over to another DAZN Matchroom promotion. This is women. We have Sky Nicholson versus Rhoda Luna. This is for the female featherweight. It was a female featherweight bout with Sky Nicholson winning this fight by unanimous decisions with judges score 98, 92, 98, 92, 97, 93. Clean, unanimous sweep for the women's top featherweight bout. I'm assuming Sky Nicholson is from the UK. I've seen her before. I think she's also very popular on the internet. Let me make sure I give her propers. But yeah, she's not only, I think she's also a model, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what kind of model. I'll let you guys decide, but I know she's popular. She's everywhere.
Australian.
I think she's a model. I may be wrong, but yeah, she's from Australia. But that's maybe another Sky Nicholson I'm seeing who's a model and a part-time boxer or a full-time model or full-time boxer. But hey, even players F up. Maybe that wrong person, wrong identity. But that's an Australian fighter. I thought it was a UK fighter, but I think it was Sky Nicholson. Moving on, back to Pro Box. We have Ernesto Mercado versus Antonio Moran. We talked about Antonio Moran a while back. That name sticks out. This is super lightweight bout. Pro Box, like I said. Mercado stopped Moran via TKO in the 6th round after a sustained wait, let me see. It was a knockout TKO. Wasn't any sustained injury. So it was, yeah. Moving on to another, let me see, this Pro Box.
Wow. He's fought Arnold Barbosa Jr.
Mm-hmm.
He's got some names on his.
Yeah. I noticed that name, Antonio Moran. We talked about that guy.
He also fought Andy Cruz. Mm-hmm. Had to make sure it was the right one. So, yeah.
All right, moving on to a featherweight bout that happened on a Pro Box, same card. We have Arturo Candenas versus Cesar Vaca Espinoza with Cadenas defeating Espinoza by unanimous decision with the scorecard hitting 98, 91, 98, 91, 97, 92. Clean, unanimous decision win by Candidas. Moving on, this is away from Pro Box. We're going to talk about a PBC fight. There were so many fights happening this Saturday. This is for the Cruiserweight WBC belt. These guys are locking horns for the second time. We are talking about Noel Mikhailian, if I'm saying Mikhailian versus Badu Jack from Sweden. Mikhailian beat Badu Jack by unanimous decision to win back his WBC Cruiserweight belt. Scores were 116, 110, 116, 110, 115, 111 to retain his belt that he had lost to Badu Jack.
Just a story of being more active this time around.
Yeah. So now that brings him into the mix with Ramirez, Opatea, and now we eliminate the old man, Badu Jack. from that discussion of the major belt holders in that division.
Right, and I didn't want to see Badu Jack fight anybody, any of the other belt holders. Yeah, just for the sake of his health. But now now we got a true cruiserweight. Okay, let's see.
So if I'm reading what you're saying right there, Opatea fights Mikelian, and the winner would fight who comes out victorious from Gilberto Ramirez versus Benavidez.
Yeah, ideally.
Interesting.
Ideally. But yeah, and then any combination of them could fight each other as well. So
yeah, I definitely do see, and this is just from what I also have recency bias. I did see Jai Opatea's last fight. Watching Badu Jack fighting Mikelian, I think Opatea beats both of those guys easy. I have recency bias. I need to go back and see a lot more of Noel Mikelian fight. But from what I saw, Badu Jack stood a chance. I mean, he got beat unanimously, but there was he was in there. And again, Badu Jack is no slouch. In his heyday, Badu Jack, he knows how to box.
Yeah, and listen, I'm just
Jai is a scary fighter, man.
Yeah, and I'm just more comfortable feeding Mikelian to Opatai than I am feeding Badu Jack to Opatai. That's just
fair.
We gotta have some kind of morals in this.
Yeah, Zudo is great. I've seen Zudo fight. That's gonna be. I'll be honest. Zudo Benavidez is gonna beat you. That's just me calling that. Like, maybe I need to see more of Gilberto Ramirez for me to change. I need to go back and see more highlights. But from the last 4 fights I've seen him fight, he's good. But man, there's levels. That's why I'm like, I'll just skip over. Give him Jai fight Benavidez. Let's go for it. Let's just skip the filler or the cannon for it in between. Just go right to it. But again, I understand a good build-up.
Yeah, man. And also, let's unify these belts, right? Jai is easily the number one guy at cruiserweight right now. But let's get all the hardware in there together.
Also, could we also be mistaken with power from boxing abilities? Because really and truly, we are looking at an athletic cruiserweight in Jai. We've been excited about how he's finishing people, but what if he's in the pocket of a Zudo, or I don't know how good of a fighter Mikelian is, like where a good boxer will expose this guy for just because he's just this athlete.
It is definitely that's definitely. I think you're right. I think it'll take a Benavidez to do it. But yeah.
Well, that would be good. I can't wait to see that type of build up, and it'll be healthy for the cruiserweight division because it deserves that. A lot of cruiserweights are great. It's just that we don't put a lot of light onto them and that spotlight so we could, marvel on their talent. But it's great that Benavidez is hopping in that space with all the clout that he has.
And I hope they let him. I hope they let him campaign. Let him campaign at 75. Come down, from cruiserweight as necessary. It's something that happens on the women's side because it's necessary. Yeah. Benavidez has been put in this unique position because he's been so heavily avoided. So you need to allow him that freedom. And and it's some of it early on, some of it was his fault a little bit because he's still paying the price from not having, not being forcing Canelo to fight him. He's still paying the price from relinquishing that belt early on, but he's making amends for it, I think. So
you like with a fighter like that, like
with it being the WBC, they'll let him do it.
Yeah,
they let Canelo do it. Yeah,
with a fighter like that, he reminds me of being born in a generation where, man, nobody wants to fight me. Like, who else was that type of fighter? Like, where you're just hopping from division to division, just looking for a worthy opponent.
The problem
Like-
is if the IBF, Zerto's got the IBF, so the IBF, that'll be the only problem there.
In a perfect world, would you see Benavidez? And this is just, I'm not trying to see through all the opponents in the cruiserweight, but if he does a clean sweep in the cruiserweight, like he's done in other divisions, do you see him eventually taking that leap to heavyweight?
Oh,
Wait a minute. Fighting more than he could chew?
Opatai has the IBF. So,
he has the IBF.
So this is perfect. It'll be waiting for him.
Yeah. So in a perfect world, would you see Benavidez as a heavyweight? If all is written and he's done what he could do at the cruiserweight with the unification and in the heavyweight, there's a super monster clash between him and Usyk.
I don't see it for another.
Same height, 6'4", 6'3".
Give it 4 years, because he's still able to make 75. Give it 4 years.
Usyk will be about 40 something.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
39.
Nah, man, we just start thinking about, like, I don't think about that. Usyk doesn't want to think about these young guys. He's talking about Deontay Wilder. So if we want to talk about David Benavidez at heavyweight, it's Benavidez versus Itama. Like,
I'll tell you this: if Usyk is doing Deontay Wilder, I'm like, bro,
it's gonna be.
We've seen what Jenga's done to Deontay. We've seen what Joe Parker did to Deontay Wilder. I'm not saying Deontay Wilder is damaged goods. Come on, I don't want to see Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, bro, but I deal in reality. So we'll be talking about if any of the people that are there, it'll be Benavidez maybe versus Parker, Benavidez versus Dubois, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna be looking at. The senior circuit. Hey,
them guys all retiring, like they're all old, like AJ's, they're all passing the torch. I don't see AJ after this fight. I don't see with Jake Paul. How many other fights? Because this fight is kind of like, are you retiring? What's happening?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but anyways, moving on to another fight that happened. And I believe this was on PBC. We have Yolis Tellez versus Kendo Castaneda, with Tellez stopping Kendo via TKO in the 5th round. He overwhelmed him with power and precision. So that is that for our boxing coverage. Other fights, we couldn't get to all of them. I mean, if you want to see what those results are, there's a good old thing called the internet. Go in there, check. I see 3 people watching us right now. Please leave a comment. Engage with the show. We'll read your comment. We'll add you as the 3rd member to the show with your input. Leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe if you're new to this channel, so we could have you on our little community here. So moving on to the UFC. Let's talk about UFC. Headliners are Royval, if I'm saying it right, Royval versus Kape. This actually I got to catch because I was taking a nap in between the evenings, and I received your message saying, "Hey, I'm at Twin Peaks, and my only options I have are NBA and UFC."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh gosh. I didn't even know. Like, I was just tired. So I just turned on my my ESPN Plus. I got to watch some of those fights. Let's start off with the main headliner, Manuel.
Well, it looks like this was rescheduled because it was scheduled for June 28th, and I have a canceled here. And so this is a makeup fight.
Yeah, Royval. So turning on, I missed some of the fights. I caught the.
Hold on, wait. This was canceled twice? It was canceled March 1st? Wait.
The same 2 opponents, right? Or the same card, the full card, or just these 2 guys?
So Royval pulled out March 1st, they moved in Asu Bayev, who Kape knocked out. That was March 1st. Then it was rescheduled for June 28th. Wow. So this has been a long time coming.
Right. Yeah, and you know, like, I'm impressed to even see that a person of Kape's skill is fighting UFC fight nights, because Kape is a very entertaining fighter, explosive. I would think he would be on the main stage where you have the numbers after the UFC, if you know what I'm talking about. Again, let's recap this. We have Manuel Kape versus Brandon Royval. Manuel Kape, I believe, is of Angolan descent, fights out of Portugal. He has a mouthpiece, pause. He talks a lot of crap. He is one of those guys that cusses everybody out, calls out everybody. He's just interesting, but he does back his words. We talk about Brandon Royval. Don't know too much about this gentleman, but I know he has seven wins, 9 losses, 0 draws. Going directly into the actual fight, Kape defeated Royval by TKO in the first round, actually. 3 minutes, 1 second, 3 minutes and 18 seconds into the fight. So that was a quick grand opening, grand closing of a main event. Actually, the fight that I actually woke up to was the Kevin Vlaos versus the Giga, if I'm saying it right, Chikadze. And this one, I will tell you, was a great fight. Vlaos, I believe, is from Argentina. I could be wrong, but you could see he stood a little shorter than Giga Chikadze. If I'm saying Chikadze. Chikadze looked like he stands for more like karate, martial arts, while my dude Vlaos was more of like, grappler, wrestler, muscle built, small dude. In the middle of the fight, actually, before actually a knockout happened, because Vlaos won by knockout. Chikadze's leg was like bleeding, like his shin was just bleeding. I don't know if it was he got scratched or whatever, but dude was like kicking dude, and his blood was all over dude who was kicking. Chikadze was just keeping on kicking dude with his bloody leg. Did you watch that? Remember that?
Man, let me tell you, these ones move so fast. I would look up, look down, look up. A different fighter was on. A different fighter was going.
They were knocking each other out. But I say that to say Chikadze showed some grit, some grind, but unfortunately that wasn't enough. In the second round, he got knocked out. Got knocked out by a spinning back fist. Those cut you by surprise. Time he landed down after that spinning back fist, a barrage, an assortment of punches came and Merry fisted, gave him the Christmas spirit on the ground and pound, and it was over. Merry Fistmas. Like, it was just festive. It was a festive string of punches that took him out. We have 6 people live right now. If you're watching the show live, we had 6 people live, but hey, leave a comment, engage with the show, engage in the chat, leave a comment, subscribe, like, be part of the show, be part of the community. Moving on, who do we have else on this? We have, this name, Melquiz Costa, if I'm saying that right, versus Morgan Sharir. Help me out here. Sharir. Okay. Well.
Right. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Perfect. Right. This was the featherweight bout. Another knockout here. Costa knocked out Sharir with a head kick in the first round. This is quick. Minute 1, 14 seconds. Like you said, every time you look down, it was another fighter coming on. It was like that. What else do we? Is there any other fights that we want to talk about?
Yeah, let's do this one real quick, because this one was so. Yeah, man, it was a rare occurrence, right? This is a fight where I see in one round there's a low blow, and then in the second round there was an eye gouge.
This is heavyweight. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I like how often do you get that? Two referee stoppages, one for a low blow, another one for eye gouge, and then just looking at the damage at the end of the fight. You know, one fighter was visibly more damaged, and I said, because of the way this went down, it's going to be a draw. And
right,
lo and behold,
it was a unanimous draw. Kennedy Zekuchua versus Marcus Pacheco, if I'm saying that right. Yeah, it was a unanimous draw from both fighters. This was a heavyweight bout. Both fighters having pretty decent records. One Pacheco looked like this was only 5 fights, 2 losses, 1 draw. While Kennedy had 14 fights or 14 wins, if I'm saying it right. Sorry, 14 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw. Moving on to fights that are going to be coming up here soon.
Wait a minute. UFC and combat. Listen, MMA is the only place where you can get a guy that has about 50 fights fighting a guy that has 11 fights.
Crazy. Yeah, they throw you in, they match make like that. They throw you in the sharks. They throw you in there. Hey, swim, get eaten, or survive and destroy. We have 5 people. Okay, now we have 3 people live on.
Hey man, we in here. We in and out. They coming in and out like the cafeteria. It's come and go style.
Come on, show love. Leave a like, leave a comment, put something in the chat so we could talk. We could engage with all you guys on the live session. All right, let's talk about what we have in the near future here, or fights that are going to be shown. Let's start with next week, Saturday the 17th, I believe. Let me make sure it's the right date.
That's
Australia.
Yeah, that's early.
Yeah. That's Wednesday. My apologies, Wednesday. So Australia, we have Tim Tszyu versus Anthony Velasquez. If I'm saying
Velasquez.
Right. Velasquez.
Yeah.
Tim Tszyu. He switched his whole stable. He switched his whole team. He's now being trained by, I believe in Miami, by the legendary Pedro Diaz. I don't know what that means, but as a thinking person, I would think his last outing, he had a change of thought on who he needs to put around him based on that decision of he threw the white towel in. I think his team didn't throw the white towel. It was him that threw the white towel against Fandor, right?
Or he quit on the stool.
He quit on the stool. Maybe
after a great round at that. After my favorite round from him in the fight, his best round.
Do you think Tim Tszyu needed a team to say, hey, get that thought out of your head. Hey, don't do that. You better not. That type of thing. Or even that type of team is kind of toxic because you're sending a guy out there to die. Like, if dude is not feeling like it, it's not feeling like it. But still, he went and switched his team. We've seen this in the past. We've seen Deontay Wilder doing that with Mark Braylon. We've seen people just after a loss. We've seen it. Tyson Fury doing it with his first coach. You lose, you just switch. You just feel like my team is my extension of me outside the ring. They're there to protect me, to look out for me, to give me everything from navigation to wellness. And he does not trust the team that he has. Now that he has a new coach, a new team, do you think we can patch up that display that you, LT, said that you cannot repair or you cannot come back?
Man, I would have loved to see that be his last round. I don't think he needs boxing. I think his father probably left a solid legacy. I think he came in and he was on his way. But if he wants to come back, more power to him. I hope that it's truly what he wants. His heart's in it. This opponent that they have picked out, Anthony Velasquez, 18 wins, 1 draw. 15 of his wins come by way of knockout. He is from Springfield, Massachusetts. He's 5'10". So 29-year-old guy. What to make of that? I don't really recognize these names on here that he's fought before, but huge step up for him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, we are fans, but again, you can never. If somebody has that fire in their heart, you can never tell someone to like hang it up. I mean, we could try. We could speak as fans and say, hey, we saw something in that ring that day where it could be dangerous moving forward. You know, even if it's for a check, your heart has to be in it. And as a fan, you can see it. And unfortunately, sometimes the boxer is the last person to see it. We've seen that with even our very best, like the Bernard Hopkins fighting at 50. Unfortunately, what's happening to Tyson, you know, and I understand go get the check, but sometimes as a fan, you're like, you know, an accident is about to happen. And this is not even an age thing for Tim Tszyu, but it's a hard thing. You know, if you have such a good round and you come out of that fight, like I was very much in the same school of thought as LT. I thought he got broken on that stool. He got broken, and that's the last thing a combat fighter has to ever do is getting broken without being knocked out, without being thoroughly. He wasn't thoroughly beat. He won that round, but he felt he felt like Fandora was playing 3D chess. There's no way he's winning that fight. He got broken. He was like, there's no way out. There's no exit than to quit. And that is scary. So if he's coming back, I hope his mental is right. I hope it's not for the check. I hope his finances are good. But furthermore, well-being is my first thing. And then secondly, hell yeah, that division needs a Tim Tszyu in there.
54?
A healthy Tim Tszyu.
54?
Yeah, healthy. We need a Tim Tszyu in there. He's ferocious. He's nonstop. He's rapid. He's everything that we love to see in a fighter. So yeah, absolutely. If he could make it and he's back to his tip tops, maybe he could catch Keith Thurman somewhere warming up, you know, chilling, you know. We're trying to match make that one for a little bit, you know.
Hey yo, this is not a slouch card either. We got Sam Goodman. That's a name right there.
Sam Goodman, yeah.
He's fighting this guy Tyler Blizzard, aka the Wizard. He's 11-0. Blizzard. So this looks like a prospect that they're giving a step up to against Sam Goodman.
Yeah. So, hey, as we've said earlier, I hope this turns out good. But we need a Tim Tszyu in the game. We need all these good fighters that bring different levels of excitement, bring a different level of crowd. You know, he's going to bring the whole of Australia. He's going to bring Russia together. I think he's also Korean, Mongol. He has all this background that he can bring in, and he's box office, man. We need the Tim Tszyu. But first of all, hopefully everything is good. Like Marshawn said, protect the chicken. Protect the chicken. Secure the chicken, whatever you said. About your mental.
Yep. Your chickens and your mentals.
Yeah, the chickens and your mentals. Moving on, the same day we fly over to Tokyo.
Or the day before, who knows? I didn't go far east enough to when I put these on here.
Could be the day before Tokyo, Japan. We have some WBO bouts in here. We have
yeah, let's go.
There's some names here.
Exactly. Shout out to Nonito Donaire still fighting.
Taco Kuhara. I don't know Oscar. I can't even say his last name. Takami is known. I don't know Rene Santiago, but that's for 2 belts. WBA, WBO. Tatami.
We're gonna do this. I'll go for this one. We got Anthony Alascuega versus Taku Kuwahara. We got Kayosuke Takami versus Renee Santiago. We got Seiya Susumi versus Donito Denaire. Yuri Akoi versus to be announced. Tayushi Nishimoto versus Yu Azaki.
Yeah, I caught.
Correct or incorrect, I said it with confidence. It sounds
you sound like you knew what you're saying. I would say I know Takami. We've covered some of Takami's fights. We've covered Tsutami. We also did Tsutami, right? Or that's Sayaka. Is that the same Tsutami we covered? Because there are two of them. They're brothers. They remember the one that fights over at Riyadh.
Mm-hmm.
There were two of them. If I'm mistaken, let me do my. I know there's a Tsutami that fights on the Riyadh cards.
Right.
If it's them, then that's box office because Tsutami.
One thing we know is that it will not be on ESPN. That's what we do know.
Yeah. ESPN Top Ranking loves them. They love the Japanese fighters. That's like their main thing. On a weekday. Sorry. Talking about Japanese fighters, and I know you'll bring it up. I love how fighters like Inoue are getting their flowers in this generation, and how he's becoming like a pop star out here in the United States, with his placement everywhere. Like it's crazy how popular he is, and especially like a 2025 that's fire. So that Tsutami that we talk about is Hayato, I believe, not this guy. Hayato fought 2 times. Okay, Hayato fought 1 time in Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia, versus there's another guy. I'm assuming they're two Tsusamis. Maybe Hayato is old boy's brother.
If we find the channel, you want to do a watch along?
Hell yeah, we can do that. If it's
3 a.m.
I mean, damn. If it was like leading up to, because I'm off after the 20th, we could do morning watch alongs. Like, yeah,
we're gonna do 3 a.m. watch along.
Hell yeah! If it's after
bro, it'll be the higher viewership in our program history.
Hell yeah, we can watch that. I'll be down. But yeah, that would be cool, man. Catching some of these fights in Tokyo, Japan. Moving over to the 19th, the most anticipated MVP showdown. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my bad. I think I clicked on that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here because I don't want to get fined.
Oh, man.
Alicia Baumgardner will be fighting Lele Bordon. We have Anderson Silva versus Tyrone Woodley. We have Jamel Hervey versus Kevin Cervantes. We have Nika Johnson versus Amanda Galley. And then let's see who else on the running banner because it's running out of the words there.
Right.
Yeah, we have Yakata Vela versus we'll see what it runs through.
Yadira Bustillos.
Okay, there's a lot to chew on here. First, the one that I skipped, Jake Paul versus AJ, 8-rounder heavyweight.
Originally, it was supposed to be Gervonta Tank Davis, who we expected to weigh in at 160, and I think the weight limit for Jake Paul was going to be 180 or 190. But all that went out the window.
Yeah. Do you have anything that you're anticipating on this one?
Ooh. Scheduled for 8 rounds, it will not go 8 rounds.
Well, if you're grabbing and holding and and running. Remember when
But if you grabbing and holding, the fight will end due to injury because Jake will have a dislocated shoulder.
you remember Hitman Hearns versus Martin? Yo, I don't know how to feel about this. Either one or two things. Jake Paul is crazy as hell. And then the other thing is, that's fixed. There's no way you'd want to, even if you've been boxing for 4 years, at most. I think that's long Jake Paul has been boxing. It's 2021, 2020, let's say 2020. 5 years. Let's give him 5 years. You're going to step in the ring in someone's domain, a former Olympian, a former 3-belt holding heavyweight champion, not an old Mike. He's not in his 50s. This is an active lion. And you're stepping in his domain in heavyweight.
Oh, man.
What are you doing?
So this is Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
So if we go back in the time machine to August 2018, there was a guy by the name of Curtis Harper who was scheduled to fight one Efe Ajagba.
I remember that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yep.
Walk away with your faculties intact, bro.
Bruh.
Walk away. Listen, I didn't want to see Badu Jack fight Jai Opata.
But still, like there's with a guy with ring IQ, you could survive. It with ring IQ. Without
Yes,
with ring IQ. I'm not saying Jake Paul does not have ring IQ. It's just the experience in that ring.
Yeah, I have ring IQ. I don't have reflexes.
The reps in the ring, man. Like you're in there with a guy who knows a shark. You know, you're in there with a killer.
I can have all the IQ in the world, but can I get my IQ to signal my brain what to do?
What if in an alternate switch of fate, different world that we live in, Jake catches Anthony Joshua?
Oh yeah. Close your eyes and swing.
That's how you'll be woken up. Hello, Jake. Let's. That'll be crazy.
Jake Windmill Paul.
If Anthony Joshua loses this fight, yeah, I don't know if we can talk about him on the show again.
Can we even like Dubois? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Dubois. There was Dubois.
Yeah.
Like,
that's another killer. if
I'm just like, not even you can't even pull a Dubois. Like,
right. His peers will be like, yo, you're damaged goods. Even if they want to fight him, they're like, nah, dude kind of L with the Mickey Mouse kid. I don't know if it was Mickey Mouse or he was Disney kid. I don't remember. I can't remember. Jake Paul was a Disney kid, right?
YouTuber. He was a
YouTuber, yeah. Like, come on, man. No, that would be bad. But on the other hand, let's moving away from the banter and the stuff that we like to laugh about. Man, salute to Jake Paul setting the table out for these women. He recently signed Dubois' sister, Caroline Dubois, is now part of MVP, which is major. I don't know if she's the first signee from the UK that he has on his list. I know he has Baumgardner. Is there another UK female fighter that he has? Or she's the first one on his roster? But nevertheless, she is a champion in her own rights. She's one of those people that I talked about in female boxing, and that's a big fish to add to your list. Man, I can't salute Jake Paul enough for what he has done for the sport as an ambassador, as a person that is breaking status quo, as a person that is improving equity and equal equity and I won't say diversity, but equity in the sport of boxing. And be the first person to be part of one of the biggest broadcasted female bout in history of boxing. Those numbers from Netflix look ridiculous. Serrano Taylor 3, I believe. I think it's 3. That broke the record. So
We got
he's
we got
new.
we got
He's
Spider, but we got Spider and Woodley on here.
Those are worthy opponents for Jake Paul.
I like Spider.
Did he fight Jake Paul already?
Yeah, something like that. He also beat Junior.
Oh yeah, he beat Junior. He beat Chavez Jr. Chavez, I don't know if he's really a boxer anymore, but yeah, I remember he beat Chavez. And to Spider's credit, Spider really knows how to box. It's just that he's old, man. Just old. Tyron Woodley, MMA boxing is different from boxing. But his first fight with Jake Paul, he gave Jake Paul a hard time. Second fight, he got knocked out. Talking about some other great fighter, Nika Johnson. I think she's Australian, great fighter. She actually should be, she's box office. And I would like to see her fight Amanda Gill. Yeah, great lineup. I'll definitely watch it. I don't know how to feel about the main event. I'm still gonna watch it. Like every one of us are gonna watch it. We'd like to see a good car wreck, for lack of a better alignment of similarity. On the 18th that day of that week, this is moving away from the Thursday. Wait, 18th is Thursday. Friday is the 19th. My apologies. We go to Florida, Fort Lauderdale. We have Ramon Cardenas versus Eric Roble. I don't know who that is. I don't know who those are. Albert Concenciao versus Sosa Paul Coral. We have McQueen Williams versus, help me out here, JR Valterra. We have Yojanla Martinez versus Joshan. Let's add an accent to it. But Jashan James. And then we have Kenya Valley to be announced who their opponent is. I'm assuming these are local Floridians or Florida fighters.
Yeah, man, that's what it looks like.
Recognize anyone here? I know that Hubbard Conceição name, but I don't know if it's still could just be a common Spanish name.
Right.
No. And then moving on to Saturday, let's go to the Detroit, Michigan. This is the Zone Showcase. We have Olivia Curry versus Kai Scott for the WBC middleweight. We have Tony Harrison versus Brian Damian Chavez. Tony Harrison, is he still training? He used to train Bob Gardner at one time.
Nah, she's with Derek James.
Derek James, okay. We have Prince.
Remember
Taylor.
the fight that she fought, and I'm like, none of these fighters listen to Derek James.
Right.
None of these fighters that hired Derek James listen to Derek James.
Right. There's. So we have Price Taylor versus Michael Polite Coffee, if I'm saying it right. Cameron Pankey versus Jose Rodriguez Crespo. We have Hussam Al Shaldid to be announced who his opponent is, and we have Carmel McKeld. McKeld, and his is to be announced too. And then we have, am I missing any other?
I'm sure they have them now. I just couldn't find them when I was looking.
Antoine Jones to be announced. Sadiq Simmons to be announced. Joaquim McElroy to be announced. Devontae Shoma to be announced. Garrett Rice to be announced. That's all scheduled for Saturday.
That Rice name is interesting, though. We got the legendary Glenn Rice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a
Glenn
local
Lewis.
name. That's a local
Yeah.
name up there.
Yeah. Moving on to Sunday, we are over in Nigeria, Lagos. And this is the zone. We have Okoli fighting over there. Wow. Versus Ebenezer Tete, if I'm saying that right. We have Taiwo Abaje, if I'm saying Taiwo Abaje versus M. Tuden. Tony Yoka versus Patrick Conte. Elvis Agaha versus Hurley Ben. We have Shilo, if I'm saying that right. Damn, these names are killing me, man.
Looks like Shiloh DeFreitas.
DeFreitas versus Kabiru Sulau. Isaac Chukundi versus Aminashon. Aminashon. And then we have Joy versus Boateng.
Hey, listen.
Whew.
Strap, as an American-born,
yeah,
only English-speaking male,
yeah.
I feel much better about myself.
Yo, these names are fire, bro. But the thing is, like the thing is, these are like my same. I'm African, so we have also some interesting names when they put it being pieced together. It's just that when I've been living in the States almost half my life, so I'm just used to the Smith. I could even do Spanish names. But when we go into like the Eastern European, like the super like a EBN in one, like I'm trying to like, how do I maneuver this?
Oh man!
But hey,
you got Mike Krzyzewski,
dog.
Eric Piatowski.
I struggled with Giannis's name for a long time. But when somebody's great, you gotta know their name.
Facts.
Anyways, Okoli, salute to you taking a fight overseas to Nigeria. Moving on, since we hit the hour mark while we're pacing this.
Right, man. Just to be on that same wave, though, we seen Amir Khan, like he had his first promotion. It was where?
It was in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
There was just I believe it had to be a top ranked promotion. Was it in Manila once again?
Right.
And to bring it full circle, Muhammad Ali's grandson was on the card.
Yeah.
So
Nico. Yeah.
Nico Ali Walsh, correct.
Yeah. I'll say like it makes sense. I mean, most of the British black fighters are all like Nigerian descent and Jamaican or Korean or West Indian descent. And so a lot of them are inclined to having that whole like AJ's Nigerian, Okoli's Nigerian, Tom was Nigerian and Polish, Adelaide's Nigerian, and the list goes on. Chisora is Zimbabwean, all of them, and Dylan White is Caribbean, Joe Joyce is Caribbean, Dubois is half Nigerian.
We talked about F.A. Jagba.
He's American. American Nigerian. So yeah, like they that's why I could see that they're pushing it back there. But again, to be honest, dog.
And like, David Adelaide was supposed to be on the card.
Yeah, David Adelaide. It makes sense. It's just to me, I'm like, it's long overdue. Ali and them did that back in the 70s. Him and Foreman when they did Rumble in the Jungle, right? That's one of the reasons why I respect the Don Kings and all these people. I mean, with limitation, but I respect that they made the boxing an international sport. It wasn't territorial like how it is over here, where dudes refuse to fight overseas. When you come to me, that type of thing. Back then, these guys were rock stars. Like Ali took it to Manila. They went to Philippines, man. 2 black dudes fighting in the Philippines at that time. Box office, live broadcasted. That shows you the star power back then is different from now. Where, dudes were not even from that country filling up a stadium to just see these gladiators go at it. You know what I mean? So I don't even know if there's a current fighter right now that could just wake up and say, "Hey, forget the continent, forget the boundaries. I'm just gonna wake up. Hey, let's go fight over there in let's go fight in Russia." And I don't think any fighter has that type of pull or that clout like the Ali's did. But I respected them for going to different territories outside the comfort of MMG or Vegas or New York, whatever. They push that envelope with their promoters to go fight everywhere. And I kind of want to see them fight in Nigeria because people, in current business, I understand it's a business sport. People don't look at those countries as revenue earning with hotels and all that stuff, the stuff that surrounds boxing, like where they're going to stay, safety and all that type of stuff. So like, I understand it, but man, do it, man. There are fans all over the world, man. Do it. Take it to Saudi Arabia. Take it to Qatar. Take it everywhere. Take it everywhere. You guys are superstars. You should stop being this regional type of sport, man. This is a global sport. Same goes for the NBA, but that's just me speaking, stepping into diverting. But they should, and I don't know how, and I could use you because you're a Detroit Pistons fans. How do you feel of having an NBA game played overseas? Just for one, like the NFL does.
I think the Pistons play a game overseas this year?
I think they play in London or something.
Yeah. I mean, look, we got, I guess Canada's not overseas, but it is what it is. I mean, I like the preseason. It is a strain when it comes to travel and things like that, and time zone and those logistics. But maybe they can play the world like that. This little in-season cup, right? Maybe they can play that somewhere. I don't know.
The NBA is a global sport, man. Same thing as boxing. It's a global sport. That's why you have the Russians in here. You have the Chinese. Like, why not? If I follow a boxer and I don't get love from Wichita, if I'm from Wichita, and I'm like, this is a global sport. If they don't like me here, guess what? They're the people in the UK that would love a Terrence Crawford. That would love. They've never seen that. Like, that's why I'm like, bro, I like that they're doing that thing in Nigeria, which I can't remember any main event, any boxing event ever being held in Nigeria, like for a title. But I would want to see that in like a remote location outside what we're used to. But hey, that's me just squeezing that that whole Legos card right there, trying to get more juice out of it. Pause. But moving on to our second to last topic here, Canelo versus Crawford rematch, and that's been the best kept non-secret. It's not a secret. they kind of like talking about it like it's gonna happen.
It's funny for a lot of reasons, but they're saying that we're going to rest. This is the training and coming out of camp of Canelo, but they're saying we're going to rest in May and aim for September. So I don't know. Two fights a year have been taxing, huh?
I mean, if you're making that type of money per fight, I mean, I'm assuming that one fight is how many previous bags for Terrence Crawford. Maybe that's like 2 years' pay from his last activity.
I mean,
just that one fight. So he's like relaxing here. He's everywhere. Terrence Crawford has been everywhere.
And this is what I'm like. I would like to see more fights. Because we know we're nearing the end of two great careers for both Canelo and Crawford. And to push it out into September, nobody wants to jeopardize the bag, right? Crawford was already put in a position where he couldn't fight a tune-up or have any activity between, while Canelo had his fight in May. But we knew that it was going to line up. It was a setup for unification and undisputed for September. And so here we go again, where Crawford is probably going to be forced to sit for another year. How does he feel about that? I don't know how I feel about it, I would like to see him fight in the first half of the year. Before that,
Yeah, that's you bring up a very good point. That mother nature clock that just keeps on ticking, man. Like it's one of those things when you see a fighter turning 39, you might as well just give him 40 years old. Just it's like right now in activity. I don't know. I don't know because I've never fought before. I've never been in that type of. I wonder if we had a fighter on the show to help us talk about activity and inactivity in certain age groups. I know it kills you when you're younger. You need to be active because you need to get that ring knowledge. But when you're older, does inactivity is it to benefit you? Because I think Keith Thurman may be preserved because he's inactive. He does not have the wear and tear of camp like these guys are going through with weight cutting. All he has to do is just go into his gym and stay sharp. Um, but I also don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't know how how he trains. I've seen Bud Crawford training. That dude breaks his body down. I've seen Bud Crawford pre-fight. Bud Crawford has fun. You know, he gains a couple pounds. I've seen him. And then fight week happens or fight month. This dude is all chiseled up, and I'm like, okay, he breaks himself down. Him, Bomac, all them dudes, they are gym holics. Like he brings his whole little crew. Shakur is there. He's understudy. They all go and they go. I think they go to Denver, right? That's where they go? Someplace with high altitude, Colorado, someplace, and they go bananas. So I don't know what that translates to when your body's 39, 38, leading up to 40. How many camps can you do? People that are defying that are the Badu Jacks of this world, the Laras, the freaking Pacquiao, who looks like he's always in camp. He always has a million cameras following him. I'll go on his Instagram. He has like the whole of Philippines jogging around with him in Manila. Like the dude is like real life Rocky. Like dog.
I think the wrestling background probably plays a huge factor into it. Is just being used to the yo-yo and experience and just how to be efficient about the process. He's got a world-class team, you know. Whether they were world-class when they were assembled, they've become and evolved into a world-class team.
Yeah.
So
I know old boy talked about it. I'm mixing off as, but it could be Danny Garcia that talked about that process where you start to get injured when you overtrain. When certain things happen where you push your body past its normal, optimal, and because you're going back, you're training yourself based on your younger days, where you're recovering. Because that's the thing. I think it's mainly recovery was his thing, like that type of thing. And then your coach is just pushing it in. Some of these dudes are just so strong mentally that they can pass that threshold. But your mental strength may be your weakness physically. Now your body breaks down on you 1 week before the fight. Bones are breaking 1 week before the fight. Wrist is broken 1 week before the fight. You can't turn it down because there's money on the line. Now you're taping up like you're going to fight and you're like, I'm not going to throw my best punches, but I'm going to box. Because guess what? I let my mentality drive me through camp, but I broke myself. And it's crazy when you hear stories like that. People going to fights with broken hands, like, or a broken wrist, or this and this. I'm like, how are you doing it? And then he explained it like some people, it's just the mentality.
I'm gonna tell you one thing that I just thought about too is that Janibek probably ruined us our chances of seeing Crawford fight the first half of the year. Because that was supposed to be the fight. Janibek was supposed to go to San Antonio and unify, get the WBC strap, have 3 belts, right? And then, that might set up for a Crawford fight. So any chance of us seeing Crawford fight before September, it was probably ruled because of that. And then also with Canelo saying that they don't want to fight in May, that was just the cherry. Like, okay, we're only going to see Crawford fight once because, what else is there out there?
Yeah, they gotta run it back. Let them figure that stuff out. Let them sit down. I know Canelo was so defeated that he said there's no way he's gonna beat this guy. Like he gave him the utmost props. Like he couldn't
Said
figure
he
him
has
out.
everything.
Yeah, he has
has
everything. Yeah, he has everything.
Mhm.
So, but I think that was just post-fight blues.
Frustration.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna happen. And Canelo is one of those guys that I like because he has given us that before. He wants to win convincingly. He's done that with Triple G. He's done that with another fighter, but like he always gives. He's not done that with Bivol though. He didn't want that one again. But he's done that.
He said Bivol had to come down to 68.
Yeah, he's not giving us that one. But anyways, we want to see man Crawford fight because that's the way everything the optics look like. Canelo is older than Crawford, but Crawford is really the older fighter, so his clock is the one that's really ticking here. Canelo maybe has maybe 4 or 5 more years in this sport.
And it's kind of a matter of like where do you go from here too as well. Like once you've tasted this amount of success and this money, right? These high level fights, how can you manufacture that success again? Right? So
yeah. Okay, how do we close this? Let's close it the right way with Usyk versus Wilder in 2026, Fury versus Joshua 2026. You guys excited about 2026 in the boxing reference? I mean, life. I want to see 2026. Do I want to see 2026 with a Usyk versus Wilder and a Fury versus Joshua? Well, in 2016, yes. This would be absolutely box office. Maybe not a Usyk Wilder in 2016, but that Fury Joshua would have been record breaking in the UK and overseas, across the sea, across the pond here in the United States. 2026, a retired Fury, a Joshua who's in purgatory because he's not one fight away from a title. He got knocked out his last fight by Dubois, who got knocked out by Usyk. So there's something in between there. I think he's ranked number 4, 5. So he's not one fight away from a title. Maybe 2 fights away. Maybe 3. 3 wins away from coming back. Now with Joe Parker having his chain took, dare I say, by Fabio Woodley, maybe 2. Yeah, maybe 2.
I threw that name out earlier and I completely forgot. But yeah, no, these are Usyk and Wilder is the name that Usyk called out, right?
Right.
So, I mean, when you're the guy, you can make those decisions.
Right.
We got. You asked the question, where does Joshua go from here? And it's kind of being spelled out for us. I think it was Turkey said he would like to see this on a Riyadh card. So we're looking at a situation where this fight happens on Friday or whatever, and then there's a setup fight, right? The tune up. Mm-hmm. Each of those guys will have their tune up or setup fight, and then it should unfold to where they meet on a Riyadh card. So
yeah, I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Even if it's yesterday fight, I'd love to see it. I just feel like this is Usyk just doing his laps on the heavyweights. He's like, you could get it, you could get it, you could get it, you could get it, you could. Like, it's not necessarily I want to fight dude because it's a challenge. It's more like you guys are in you're in my graduation class. Mm-hmm. You guys, we all in the same age group. Let me do my lap. I've done Joshua twice. I've done Fury twice. I've done Dylan White. I've done all them dudes. I've done the whole of the UK, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now, let me go over to the States. Let me see what's out there. And there's only one name in the States, to be honest, and that's Wilder. So I understand that he's just collecting heads and adding them to his mantle, to his display case. But outside of that, I don't see contest. I don't see even Wilder saying, I can stand that this is a worthy dancing opponent with my level of skill. Like Usyk is going to knock him out and make him look stupid, I think. But again, like we always say, Wilder does have the equalizer, that right hand. We've seen him do it to very skilled fighters like Fury. We've seen him do it to King Kong. We've seen him do it to fighters that we thought were going to beat Wilder. So again, like it's going to be a great. I want to watch it. Fury Joshua, of course, that's what's going to be a banger. I don't care if those guys are like 50 years old. The UK is still going to look at them like the corner Ben and Eubank and Chris Eubank. Like that's a rivalry.
These are matchups, right? These are great matchups.
Rivalry, yeah.
No matter what implications there are,
they're going to be
just
banger.
Have an appreciation for the sport.
Right. That's a banger. Like those are names that are always going to sell. Like so, facts. I would want to watch it. Even just to add more to that, put Chisora versus Dylan White. But just why not? Why not? Just throw it in. Just that would be the little logs, the one to start the fire. Throw in some old rivalry in there. Yeah, and then put Bakoli versus Jane. Boom. Throw them all in there. Boom.
There you go. Now you're thinking.
And then Joyce Parker. Let's go. Boom. That's how Turkey would do it. I don't know. I'm just saying Turkey would sound like, yo, let's bring all the bangers, the heavyweight bangers. By the way, talking about heavyweight, I've been thinking about this. What's happening with my guy, Ajet? He's not been active. Like, are they let me look at his record here. Because the last time he fought was Ajit fought Jane in February 2025. And when I say Ajit, I'm talking about Kabayal. I'm lost of words. To me, Kabayal is what we thought Joe Parker was. A very good heavyweight that deserves a chance to fight these big names. Am I bugging?
We're looking at January 10th, 2026. Oberhausen, Germany. It's Naiba. KNYBA. He's 17-0. Queensberry.
Are they edging my guy out? My dude has 26 victories, 18 knockouts, 0 losses, but he needs to be, from the way he fights, the way he dismantled Jane. Oh, I wanted to see him fight some big names. I was wondering when I was spewing out those heavyweights, and I thought, oh, we're not talking about Kabayal. You know, there's some heavyweights in there, man.
Damian Naiba, 6'7" from Poland.
Huh, that's a big boy. 6'7" from Poland. Damian Naiba. But yeah, that's a name I wanted to throw in there, man. That's another exciting fighter who's not young. He's 33. So I just don't know why he's not active. At least his last fight we covered was in the beginning of the year. Where in December, for a person that good, you should not fight only just one. I don't know if it's being avoided. I don't know what's happening. He needs to be active. So on that note, we are an hour and almost 30 into our episode. Today has been one of the anomalies of the recent months. I've been looking at people walking in and walking out of our show. We've had like 7 viewers, 8 viewers. Now we are down to 3. If I've not said it yet, I want to say it again. Please leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel. LT's been another great episode of Who's Fighting.
Shout out to the t-shirt. Show the t-shirt real quick.
Oh yeah, the four kings. We have the 4 kings. We have Agla, we have Sugar Ray Leonard, we have Duran, and then we have Tommy the Hitman.
There you go.
Yes, sir. And just like this, sorry.
One more thing, Ajit Kabayal, WBC interim champion, so he's in line for Usyk.
I know. I'm like he's
whatever that means for WBC.
I know he needs to be like he needs to be in the mix. I just was wondering when I was just pewing those names of heavyweight people to add to that lineup. I'm not like, oh snap! It just crossed my mind. I'm like, Ajit, what's up with Ajit?
Good call.
But just like that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another great episode of Who's Fighting LT
in 4K.
Kam Gee. He's not with us today, but he's going to join us next episode. Kam Gee, we held it down, and you're here in spirit. Kam Gee LT, who's fighting?
Who's fighting?